Ooh. I need to turn on my computer. I win. I'm so sorry. I passed out for like 15 minutes past the starting. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm late. Lol. Hi Veronica, welcome. I was like, I'm a little tired. I'm just gonna like watch some YouTube shorts before the start of my stream. I have like 30 minutes left. And then I passed out. I literally just woke up. And I checked the time. I was like, I'm 15 minutes late. But hi you guys. Hi Dragon. Hello. But yeah, hi. So I just came back from dinner with my parents. So that's fine. Cause like we needed to have din for my birthday and everything. So that's fun. I'm a small cold right now. Oh, I hope you make sure to drink water. Stay hydrated. Oh man. I feel a little icky, mainly because it's like. No, babe, come back. I don't know. It's like that thing when you fall asleep and then you wake up with like markings on your body, it's like from the fabric or something of your blanket or sheets or something like that. That's like me right now. It's like my arms got markings on it. So it's like it doesn't feel like I was only sleeping for a few minutes, but my gosh, I feel the family wanted a piece of you for the birthday too. Did they ask what you were doing on the day of? Well, I mean, it was just kind of I don't know. It was I tried to make it so that it wasn't necessarily going to interfere. So I don't know. I mean, my mom was just like, "What did your relatives greet you?" Speaking of which, it was so cute because earlier I wore the dress that my mom got me. And my mom wore a dress that I got her, so it was kind of cute. We were wearing each other's gifts. um, but something did occur to me. I in a few hours. Well, not yeah, like in a few hours, I'm gonna have to go um go go stream um on Twitch. So that would be later this evening for you guys. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh no, oh no. It's like, well, I wanna, I wanna relax, but I can't. It's like I know, like I just happened to have my birthday stream recently, and I was going to rest, but then I was like, wait, no, there's so much to do still. I shouldn't be having a good time with my family. I should be back at home working. I can't relax until like the end of the month, I think. Hi Rakes. Hi, welcome. In like 13 hours, you got anything you have to do else before then? Well, I mean, I have like artwork that I need to work on. Pregnaria, for next week. There's other stuff too. It's like I have assets that I wanna make. It's like why am I working this hard for a joke that'll probably be like less than a minute long? I don't know. I'm weird like that. I'm weird. It's like I'm putting so much effort into a shit post. So it's like next week's event stream. I'm not really sure how well that's gonna go. I've never had Thanksgiving before, so like a Thanksgiving stream would be very interesting. Who knows, man? Who knows? That's what makes the best shit post. I always tell people, right? Commit to the bit. It's like if you're gonna go this far for a joke, you gotta really lean into it, because it's like that's what makes it funny. Because it's like, okay, we're having we're having like kind of a dumb shit post, but it's like you have to like really make it like shit posty. You can't just half-ass the shit post, otherwise it's not gonna hit as it's not gonna hit the same. It's kind of like, have you guys ever seen like a stand-up comedian or something, like either online or in person? Imagine a stand-up comedian who didn't think his own jokes were that funny and was actually kind of shy and timid, and just kind of like what did the alligator say to the doctor or something, and it's like, okay, that delivery is bad. You have to like really be confident in what you're saying, otherwise it's like, if you don't find what you're doing funny, then why should I think it's funny? That's the part about entertainment that a lot of people don't think about. It's like you have to like worry about how to make the audience laugh, but you have to make sure that it's also something that you would enjoy personally. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Dad. Welcome, welcome. I love macaroni. Hello, welcome. Good morning. Only stand-up comedy I watch are VTubers. Ooh. I don't really watch stand-up comedians. I don't think I could ever bring myself to do that, like recreationally. I will watch a stand-up comedy show if it's online, or if it's like, like clips or something. But I don't think I could ever bring myself to go out of my way to just be like, it'd be great if I spent like a few dollars to go to this like 10 p.m. show on a Friday night, to go watch like some random person make jokes in the middle of a bar. It's like it kind of sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a nightmare to me. um no hate to stand-up comedians. It's just like, I'm not built for that type of thing. It's kind of like how I'm not built to be the type of person to hire a clown or something like that, or hire like a birthday magician, like a children's party magician. It's like you have to be a type of person to want something like that. I'm really glad that my parents never got me anything like that. How about you guys? Did you guys ever enjoy like? Did you guys ever experience the joy of having a birthday party magician or clown? Um, I didn't really have those growing up, but whenever I saw them at a friend's birthday, I was always surprised each time, because I was just like, "What are we doing here? Why are we looking at this guy do some tricks right now?" I'm not. I don't. I was probably like still very young, like maybe grade school, but I was already like, "This isn't very entertaining. This isn't very fun. Bring out the pinata. Bring out the pin the tail on the donkey." Hi, Aurora. Good morning. Hello. I hope you had a good evening. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I don't think that I'm the type of person that would pay for that type of entertainment. I want a bounce house though. I love bounce houses. So, are you a furry? No, I'm not. I'm not. That's just something my chat likes to accuse me of. I'm not a furry, guys. I'm not a furry. I vaguely remember going to a birthday. It was a clown, and we were all on a bus. Picturing it now, it seems like a nightmare. I heard from someone, "No, I'm not. I'm not a furry. Don't believe them. They're slandering me." um, okay, so now here's the thing. I have a fear of clowns. I think they're scary. But imagine, are dragons a furry? No, they're not. They're scalies, actually. So that's a completely different thing. So that's the reptilians. Dragons the most furry, and they love Shut up! Shut up! Now I'm trying to imagine imagine a clown that did magic instead. Like, I think I wouldn't mind it. I'm actually okay with I'm actually okay with something like magicians and whatever, but I think the problem lies with you don't know how good like a party magician is or how good a stand-up comedian is unless you've already seen their work. Like I was watching this show called Baby Reindeer, and the guy was an aspiring stand-up comedian, and just watching him fail time and time again at being a stand-up comic, I was just like, oh, this is painful on a whole new level. This is like a ninth circle of hell type of punishment. You like cars? No, let's not discuss dragons and cars right now. I do wonder how someone would call them up for parties. It seems like Craigslist. That's the thing. It was like, did people just have clowns or party like birthday party magician in the yellow pages? Like, how did people used to book them? I doubt they had stuff like that back then. They weren't really listen if you're a stand-up no if you're like a birthday party magician. I don't think you have the budget to make advertise I don't think you'd have to make I don't oh, sorry my god, I just woke up, so I'm a little scrambled. I don't think you have the budget to spend on advertising. So I don't think the average like birthday party clown would be, on an ad somewhere. So I do wonder, like, do you just, send it into the the phone books, the yellow pages, and just be like, birthday party clown. Engage in small talk if that's the case. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, dragon and dragons and cars. That's a different thing. 1-800 Clown Town sounds hilarious. I love that. I think I'd like to give my children the option to enjoy clowns. I hope to God that they're not a clown loving person, because I myself am not a clown loving person. I have a phobia of clowns. So when that like weird 2016 weird clown murder clown trend, killer clown trend was happening all over the world, I was terrified, bro. I was just like, oh man, what if I see one in the middle of the woods? I would never show up in the middle of the woods at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. But what if I was? I don't want to see a clown there. I don't want to see a clown murderer. I should go check out the public community board at the library. Wonder if I'd find some. Yeah, it's like I wonder if they still do yellow page stuff, because like there's some clowns and birthday party magicians that are just really old. So I doubt that they've made their advertising completely digital. Like maybe if they had like a grandkid that was just like, yo granddad, we should put you on TikTok, we should put you on Facebook or something. um yeah, okay, dragon, yeah, okay, sure. Whatever. I don't know, it's one of those things that you don't think about, because you don't have a reason to think about it. But now it's just like, how did people used to call those guys up? How did they find these services, because now you could just Google something. But back then, in the 80s, 90s, it's like, what were they doing? What were they doing exactly? There was a reptile show once, had a giant banana snake and a Jake the Snake impersonator. That's hilarious. Um, that's also another thing. There's there's some places like schools or birthday parties that'll just be like, it'd be fun if we just introduced a bunch of reptiles to some small school children. Oh man, I was never I never went to a birthday party with some zookeeper reptile show or whatever, but I did go to the zoo with my club, because I was part of the tourism club. We went to the gym. No, not the gym. Why the fuck did I say gym? We went to the zoo, and my god, I'm so scatterbrained. It's taking a while for me to reboot. Sorry, guys. Um, yeah. So we went to the zoo, and I just remember thinking, oh, they're gonna give us a little show, like they're gonna show us some animals. The only animal that they showed was like this boa constrictor. Oh wait, or was it like a leopard, yellow spotted python type thing? I don't remember. It's like a big white snake with yellow spots all over it. And I just remember the zookeeper making all of us touch it, and I felt so pressured. I was just like, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. And then I did it. And then because of the way the snake felt, I got so creeped out that I think that instilled like a fear in me. And for years I was like, oh, I'm scared of reptiles because of this exact moment. um no, it turns out that was just part of it, because I didn't even realize that my relatives constantly watching stuff like Anaconda and Snakes on a Plane were other reasons why I didn't like reptiles. I think we also watched that one giant alligator movie or something. I can't remember, but it's like you get introduced to a bunch of movies that have like a giant reptile or any type of reptile eating people. You might have a little phobia, a little bit of a little bit of fear in you when it comes to the scaly boys. So it's like whenever someone's just like, "Oh, look how cute this snake is! Look how cute! Don't you want to pet Don't you want to pet my little gecko? My little pet gecko?" And I'm just like, "Your animal is very cute, my friend. But can you please like back up a little? Like they're cute from a distance. I will admire this snake from behind safety glass. Thank you. I do not want to touch it." Those movies, I can see why it freaks out someone young. Yeah, I still have fears of getting attacked by a snake whenever I'm on a plane. Because like there's some scenes in Snakes on a Plane where a guy's dingling, his little peanuts, got bitten by a snake that came out of the toilet while he was peeing. And so because of that, I refuse to go into the bathrooms on airplanes, specifically because I'm scared a snake's gonna pop out of the That's my reasoning. And then when I'm just sitting comfortably in my seat on an airplane, I keep worrying like, oh man, what if there's like a snake slithering underneath our chairs? They might bite my little ankles, my little anime girl ankles. So I always make sure to keep my feet up. If I could help it, I keep my feet a little elevated just in case a snake happens to slither by. That's the thing that's super weird. It's like I understand these are all irrational fears, but I'm just like I can't help it. It's ingrained in me. It's a trauma. I don't know how else to move on from this. Yeah, it's like I know it's improbable. I know it's not even gonna get past security, but what if chat? What if a snake comes out of the toilet? What'll I do then? We need to have Snakes on a Plane watch along for a milestone. Face your fears. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like I only saw snippets of it because I remember when I saw it when I was a kid. I was actually outside on the patio because we were at our relative's house and my relatives were playing mahjong outside, and I was watching them. And then when I peeked into the living room, they were watching Snakes on a Plane, and it was really scary. And I just remember being so scared of it. And I would like peek in every now and then to see what other scenes were happening, and each time I was getting scareder and scareder. So I've never actually watched the full movie till now. So maybe we could watch Snakes on a Plane at some point, just to get it over with, because um I remember being traumatized by movies like Stephen King's The Mist, and I just remember being traumatized by this film when I was maybe around 14. And then I checked it out again in my adulthood, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I understand the story now. Hi, Zoe. Welcome. Good morning. And so maybe I should do the same thing for Snakes on a Plane. Maybe I'll get over my phobia if I watch Snakes on a Plane. Or it'll get worse and then I'll never want to be on a plane ever again. The Mist still holds up. Nano watched it recently. Did she like it? I thought that that movie ended in such a frustrating way. Like I get that it's supposed to be tragic, but I was so mad when I saw that. I was just like, this is dumb. Are you going to do everything for Thanksgiving? I have stuff to do for Thanksgiving, but it's probably just gonna be three things. I don't think it's gonna be a lot. I remember. Oh, hi, Alistair. Welcome. Good morning. I remember when we watched The Mist for the first time in the living room. Oh, Ozzy. Good morning, detective. Hi. Hello. I just woke up from a nap. Hello. Anyways, so I just I remember when I watched The Mist. Basically, it was like I just woke up and it was summertime, and my parents were watching it in the living room, and I remember eating a bowl of peaches, like canned peaches. And when I saw those scenes, the scenes that traumatized me from that movie, I just remember thinking, oh, I hope I'll forget about this in a couple weeks. It took me 5 months or 5 to 6 months before I could eat peaches again, just because of how traumatized I was. I would get so scared just even thinking about peaches. Like they were ruined for me because of that. Like every time my mom would serve us up some canned peaches, I was just like, I can't even stomach that right now. I can't even so much as look at them. Oh, thank you so much, Alistair. Thank you. Good morning. Hi. I passed out before she finished it though, and yeah, I got the part. I get the part about the ending and like it more conceptually than watching it. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about Stephen King films. It's always like the story is a lot better than whatever the adaptations are doing. Thank you. Yeah, so it's like, do you guys have anything like that where it's like you were just traumatized by, like, let's say like a movie or video game to the point where it kind of ruined something for you? Yeah, for me it was yeah, airplanes, airplane bathrooms, reptiles, and peaches. um and it was just one of those things where no matter what I did, I just couldn't get rid of that uneasy feeling, and so that's why I just avoided those things as much as possible. I think I'm better now because I remember when I had this friend that I made him watch a bunch of anime because he told me that the only anime he's ever seen was Sword Art Online, and I was like, well, that's not good. We need to rectify the situation. So I made him watch a bunch of anime that I liked, and then we watched some anime together. And then he was like, okay, it's my turn. I need to correct you about something, and he made me watch a bunch of horror films, like classic horror films, because he knows that I don't watch those usually. And so, because I watch action films, I watch thriller, I watch suspense films, but I don't really go for slasher films. I don't really go for classic horror. So it was just really interesting going through a bunch of these like horror movies because he was such a nice boy. He was such a nice little kid, but for some reason he was really into disturbing films, and I was like, what does that mean about him, he was the type of person that I felt uncomfortable cussing around. Like I would talk so proper around him. And then he watches like nothing but disturbing films, and sometimes he would ask me to watch with him, and I'm just like, no, no, I'm good actually. Like, no, thank you. Needs kino correction. Yeah. A movie called Nightmare on Elm Street. I haven't seen it yet. Actually, I know about it. I know the lore. I know, Freddy Krueger. But I haven't actually watched it myself. Um, hmm. I don't think I've watched something like Chucky yet either. Well, I mean, like I've seen snippets, I've seen clips, but I haven't actually watched like the full film yet. So that should be interesting if I decide to check it out. Um, I don't know. It's like, do you guys avoid a certain type of media? For me, it's definitely horror, but I've been trying to push myself a little bit. I've been like, okay, let me watch horror anime, let me watch horror films and TV shows. It's like I have to desensitize myself. Like, I mean, you guys already know this. I recently just started playing Left 4 Dead because I don't normally play FPS games, definitely not zombie games. So it was really interesting. But my way to go about it is zombie racism, anti-zombie racism. So I was just like shooting anything and everything that moved. I shoot my teammates a lot. They get so mad. um, I had a nightmare that he slashed. Ew, gross, gross. Freddy's my favorite 80s horror villain. He had a ton of fun. I might like him then because a lot of horror film villains I don't really like because their personalities are just a little goofy. It's like Jigsaw creeps me out. I don't like dolls or puppets. I guess he's a puppet. I don't like Chucky, creepy doll again. Annabelle, creepy doll. Um, Jason and the other guy. Forgot their names, but yeah, they're good. They don't really have much of a personality. That's why I had so much fun watching American Psycho. He had a lot of personality. So if Freddy Krueger has personality, then maybe I'll like the movie. But I haven't checked it out yet. Do you guys consider something like alien films, part of horror? I mean, I guess they are horror, but it's like you have to specify slasher, monster film, and alien film. I guess alien film would kind of fall under monster films. But yeah, it's like when you just say horror and it's just some guy murdering people, I'm just like, okay, you should have said this was a slasher. It's not as much of a horror as as it is true crime. The movies get sillier as it goes on, but yeah, Freddy has some personality. What do you think of shit like mm, like the Predator films? Like, oh my gosh, Alien versus Predator was a little lame. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, there is um there is a lot of discourse because of the stuff going on with the Predator films, because I just remember like the first Predator was great, and then I think it was like either the second one or the third one that basically had the Predator alien on Earth, and for some reason they were just like, oh, he's kind of invincible. We can't kill him now. And I'm just like, wait, there's like a whole point about them saying something like, if it can bleed, it can die, or whatever. And now it's like, it's hard to kill even with guns. It's like, it's like they need to, it's like if they're going to, expand on the universe, if they're going to make sequels to films like that, and it has like a very iconic monster. Hi, Angel. Hi, Cat. Welcome. Good morning. You need to have the lore kind of settled. You need to kind of nail the lore down, and just is like, is it so difficult to just watch the first film again before writing a script? This is something I don't like about stuff like the new Star Wars content. It's like, okay, you guys are completely missing stuff that was happening before. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power as well is like one of those things that did not live up to the legacy just because they forgot their own lore. It's like, just watch the old content. It's not that hard. Like, you want people to watch your content and you're like very lore heavy about references and stuff, but everything's like all messed up, the timeline's all screwed up. So it's like, if you tell me one thing about this character, don't tell me something completely different in the next movie. Okay, bye bye, Alistair. Bye bye. Unfortunate circumstances. Oh no. The recent Predator movie, Prey. I know some got angry about the premise, but I liked it. Oh, I didn't know there was a movie called Prey. Let me check it out. What is the synopsis? Prey movie synopsis. Is it 2024? Hang on. A skilled Comanche, is that how you pronounce it? Warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator that hunts humans for sport, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to help her to keep her people safe. Okay. Would you recommend this? It's got a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, but it's got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 71% on Metacritic. Would you recommend this? Because I might want to check it out. I've been trying to make sure that I have something to listen to in the background whenever I'm working, and I'm running out of video essays. So maybe I can watch this movie while working this weekend. Are we talking Star Wars? Can I recommend a show? Yeah, which one do you want to recommend? Basically Native American versus Predator. Oh, that's interesting. Hi, Bodge. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. If you like the first Predator movie, I think you might like it. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I'll check it out then. It seems relatively good in terms of ratings. So I guess that's a good sign. Is this okay? Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. It should be fine. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I recommend Andor. It's pretty much the only. Oh my gosh! You know what? I still have not seen Andor. It is literally the best of the live action Star Wars films, Star Wars series rather. But for some reason people don't talk about it enough. Like I think it's because it's good that people don't really want to talk about it. Like it's so much funner to talk about shitty content than it is to talk about good content. So it's like I've seen more stuff about Star Wars. Uh, what was it? Was it Ahsoka? I think it was Ahsoka, and it was wait, what was that really controversial one recently? Um, uh, because Disney and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Hang on, what was it called? Not Star Wars. The Acolyte. The Acolyte. See, there was more content talking about Star Wars: The Acolyte than Star Wars Andor because I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's maybe there's just not enough demand because people will be like, oh, if you want to watch Andor, just check it out, you know. But Acolyte people were like, don't watch this show. I watched it. It's really bad. You need to save yourself. It's the same reason why people loved complaining about the most recent Star Wars films because they're just so bad. I think out of the Star Wars shows that I've seen so far, the live action ones anyway, I've seen Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi. I have not seen The Acolyte, and I don't really want to. I saw very extensive reviews about it, and I have not seen Ahsoka, and I've not seen Andor. I wanted to check out Andor, but I keep forgetting. Um, oof, you talking about Acolyte? Yeah, that's that. Yeah, Rage Bay gets clicks. Ivan has a clone. Yeah, yeah. You gotta have an alt account even when you're using both. um, but yeah, no, it's how do I put it? It's I don't know. It's more entertaining to bitch about stuff than it is to be like, this show is really really good for 20 minutes, for several videos, you know. And that's why there's more rage content about, oh my gosh, some stuff like Star Wars. What was the game called? Star Wars Outlaws. Can you believe that they're still charging the prices that they're charging for a game like that? Most recently, they were just like, "Look, guys, we fixed the most basic features of our game. Isn't that good of us? Aren't we such a good game company that like the main things in our game, which are stealth and guns, we're just like." We finally sorted out the bugs for those basic features. Aren't we such a good and capable, competent gaming company? And I'm just like, can you just make a good game? I don't really care. Can you just make a good game? I don't care about your politics. The animated Star Wars shows. Clone Wars was so good. I was so sad when people were saying, "Oh, Clone Wars isn't canon." I was like, why would they say that about the best adaptation, or like the best installment of the Star Wars franchise? Why would they say that it's not canon? And then I found out that there's actually another Clone Wars, because there's a Clone Wars, which is like uh, the the animated series from 2003 to 2005, and then there's like the CGI series from 2008. The CGI series is the one that's actually really really good, and the cartoon is the one that's non-canon. And so I was so relieved when I found out that, oh, it's this one, it's this mediocre piece of crap that's actually non-canon. It's not the good thing. Because I was like, why would they say all of this non-canon when Ahsoka is literally in a bunch of content now? um, it's EA, and two, there hasn't been a good Star Wars game in years. What did you guys think about Star Wars? Lego Star Wars. What did you think of that? Hi Grimmy, Grimmy's pet eagle. Love that. It's not canon, man. Now I remember that the good comics that were made are not canon. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the thing too. It's like Disney does this thing where it's like, oh, this is all canon, but we didn't like how the numbers were, so we're making it non-canon. Or the opposite, which is like, this is non-canon. Oh wait, you guys really want it to be canon? Well, it's canon now. I remember the cartoon vaguely. Haven't seen the CGI. The CGI one is the one where Ahsoka comes in. It's really good. The cartoon is kind of meh, but the CGI is like really really good. I want to check out the most recent season of Bad Batch, because it's a spin-off series. It's a long series because there's like a lot of seasons, but if you have the time, Star Wars Clone Wars 2008 is really really good. They have this way of making you care about side characters you've only seen in one episode. It's actually really good writing. Best thing to ever come out of Dave Filoni. Cow lizard and now eagle. This man is Beast Boy. And the funniest part is when they made everything legends non-canon. Yeah, what was up with that? It's like I was also a little nervous that they would make Visions, which is that Star Wars anime. They were gonna make Visions canon, but then they just made it non-canon because it's not like Disney Star Wars. I think it's like a different studio. I don't know. These companies are weird, man. It's like, why are you making content and then going, this is non-canon? It's like, what in the anime OVA is this? Stuff like the blue chiz Thrawn. Not the blue chiz. Why even bother with live action? Can you name any good live actions? Right? I mean, aside from what you claim Andor is, that's fine. I'm not. I think with the new movies, I think my favorite one, and what I would consider the only good one, and that's saying something, um, you know, uh, is something like Star Wars Rogue One. But I think it's mostly because it doesn't have to do with lore, and they were just kind of making up new stuff, which is really fun. And I think that's probably why Andor does well too. It's like they're so removed from the lore, there's no room for the writers to fuck it up. Because with Rings of Power, with the Star Wars franchise, a lot of people get mad when there's like huge inconsistencies in the lore, because it just gets confusing. Like, we're trying to understand. It's like, okay, a new Star Wars iteration or a new Star Wars installment. What time period is this? Is this before or after this movie? Or is this after everyone started hating the Jedi, or is everyone friends of the Jedi right now? Like who is this? Who is this about? Because that's the most frustrating thing as a Star Wars consumer. It's just like I start off every installment being like, okay, do we like the Jedi right now, or do we hate the Jedi? because that keeps changing every single time there's like a new installment. It's like the perception of the Jedi with the locals or like the people. It has a lot to do with the story. So it's like constantly changing. That is really it's really confusing, because it's like I'll watch something and I'll be like, wait, why is everyone mad at the Jedi? I thought they liked the Jedi. And then I have to find out later on like where the timeline was. But that's why it's so annoying, because they'll do something like that. They'll be like, oh, this is before this series, but after this movie. They'll do something like that for the timeline. And then they'll fuck up the timeline with confusing lore. It's like, oh, why is this character in this movie when he wasn't even born yet? You know, this was like 500 years before he was born. So why'd you include this character? Did you just forget? You know, like did you not research the characters beforehand? I feel like it's not that difficult to fact check before writing a character's name into your script. You know, it's like do like 2 seconds of research just to see when a character was born. You know, because like for example, like, let's say like Master Yoda, he was like several hundred years old. You know, he was probably like 900 years old or something like that when we first see him in the original film. Um, but like someone like, let's say like Grogu, right? Like Grogu, or you know, Baby Yoda, he was like 50 years old in The Mandalorian. So imagine if we had a show that was set um, before that, but Grogu is like a lot older than he should be, or something like that. It's like, you know, like they give us this information, and then they're just like, you know, I don't need to research the source material. I think every TV show needs to have like a Henry Cavill type of nerd, like just some guy who is part of the crew or part of the staff or cast, and he just, like, you know, he does the research. He's like obsessing over the content, over the source material, just to fact check the script. You know, just like, hey, you know, like Geralt of Rivia would never say something like this, or like, actually, this scene doesn't happen until later in the books, so we should get rid of that, you know, or like, oh, like his horse's name is actually this, so so I think when it comes to TV shows and movies, they really need to just, you know, just have a nerd to go, actually, like I think when it comes to geek culture, it's important, you know, to fact check these types of things. And that's why I'm frustrated with the way Disney is. I'm frustrated with these, like, you know, with these adaptations and reboots and sequels to things that didn't really need them, because you're ruining the lore the more you touch it, you know? You're making a bigger mess every time you try to clean it up. And that's why Star Wars is such a pain to be a fan of, because it's like you want to like the content, and then they put out a bunch of crap, and it's just like, okay, you're making it weird. Hopping about a timeline sounds so annoying. I can't get into franchises that are on that scale. Yeah, it's like I don't mind timelines, but you need to explain it very properly. The problem with Star Wars is that it hops timelines too much. It's like, okay, we're in the past, we're in the present, we're in the past, we're in the present, we're in the future, and I'm just like, what year is it? You know, just give me that, just give me the year, just give me the year. The remakes, I like how, oh my gosh, that's the thing, remakes and reboots are such a nightmare to consume, because it's like, okay, is this supposed to be a true adaptation, or you know, or is it going to be like a reimagination, as Tim Burton calls it? I don't mind reimaginations, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the time these pieces of media aren't made with that in mind, so it's just kind of like, okay, we'll reimagine this and this, but we'll also change this character's entire personality. And I'm just like, then how is it the same character? That's what I was kind of annoyed by when, you know, stuff like the live action Snow White was happening, because I was like, okay, they're already kind of being weird by making her Latina, but then like they just changed the entire character. I don't like I said, people don't mind reimaginations. What they were going for with the live action Snow White, was already made with Snow White and the Huntsman, which is like the Kristen Stewart Snow White movie, and it was really good, you know. So like, just if you're gonna be like, are you going to respect the source material, or are you going to like completely change it? Because then, like, why not just make a new movie? Why not just make a new movie at that point? If you're gonna change all the characters, personalities, and relationships with each other, it's not the same character anymore, is it? um I liked Obi-Wan, but it's not good. I enjoy how cheap and shitty it looked. Kenobi was interesting. See, that's the thing. A lot of the new Star Wars shows are just like so. It's so much CGI. You know, there's like barely any practical effects anymore, and I feel kind of bad because it's like it doesn't look good. Because there, it's like, listen, CGI is good a lot of the time, but the way Disney goes about their CGI is just like, you know, it's rushed. It's rushed. It's kind of like the difference between CGI animated films from DreamWorks and those same properties, but as like a cheap you know weekly TV show on Nickelodeon. The quality is going to drop significantly. So if you're going to make your movie almost completely CGI, it's gonna be obvious when it looks bad and let you rush, you know. And I don't know. It's just maybe I'm just finicky. I'm just complaining. Henry Cavill was the also hi Kureji. Hello hello. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's Kirueji. Um I like how with the Little Mermaid they said, "Nuh-uh, y'all are racist." Like, bitch, no, just a shitty remake. Also, Henry Cavill's the only good part of The Witcher, and that guy's just straight up goated. I'll glaze that man. Oh my! I like the Old Republic game so far. I wanted to check out Old Republic actually. I'm not sure if I would like it, just because it's so different from the stuff I usually consume. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, a lot of stuff gets recycled, but feels less reliant on calling back to already established canon. They have more freedom to do what they want. Yes. Anime with Star Wars was good, at least just short stories with good stuff. Oh, are you talking about Visions? I believe that's the Star Wars anime, right? Yeah. I don't know. It seems interesting for sure. I wanted to check it out, but I don't know how much Star Wars lore is in it, cuz I'm going to be honest, like there's so much Star Wars content that I get overwhelmed. So I try not to check out every single one right away. I wanted to check out Visions because I was trying to go about it chronologically. I watched all the movies in the right order. I watched Clone Wars, and then I watched hmm, I was going to watch Rebels, but I'm gonna be honest, Rebels is a little too Disney XD for me to enjoy properly. Like, it felt so different from 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 Star Wars Clone Wars. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about though, but yeah. Um so Star Wars Rebels was like the Disney XD Star Wars show. And you can feel that it's like a Disney XD show. Mainly because it's like okay, so the main character is like a little kid, right? Like a little 12-year-old or something. And he has like a group of people with him. It's a whole ensemble cast. And then they have these like, you know, these slice of life episodic type um situations where it's like, okay, episode 1 we have this mission, episode 2 we have this mission, episode 3 we have this mission, and there's like a moral at the end or something like that, and no one ever dies. That's a thing too, because like in episode 1 of Star Wars, they let you feel bad that a clone just died. Star Wars Clone Wars, rather, sorry. They let you feel bad that a clone died, a clone that you've never met before. But sorry, hang on. But something like Star Wars Rebels is just like, oh, you know that the characters in the cast right now, they're all going to make it. None of them will die. They're all going to make it to the end of the end of the series. And I don't like that kind of I don't like that plot armor. I want there to be angst. I want there to be pain. I want them to suffer a little bit. That was the whole point. Like Star Wars was literally filled with characters that were getting killed off one by one ever since the first movie. So to have a film that's just like, oh gosh darn it, these rebels, they're so goofy. Let's shoot at them blindly and they're gonna just run out of here. We're not even gonna get shot at. They're just gonna like bump us on the head or something. We'll pass out. It's like it's so sanitized. I don't like that. It's like why make Star Wars for kids? They can suck it up and watch the Clone Wars. It was on the Cartoon Network. No sticks. Ooh, that's the thing too, right? Hi good morning. How was your birthday? Might be dated to revisit Knights of the Old Republic. It's old BioWare, which is good and bad. That's the thing. BioWare is so weird right now, dude. Like I wanted to check. The only thing that made me the best thing to come out of Veilguard right now, like Dragon Age Veilguard, is that it's making me want to check out Dragon Age or Origins. It's like like the vibes of Origins is so nice, and I was always going to like check it out. I just didn't have a proper PC at the time, and so I was like, okay, we'll not try to play this right now on my dinosaur laptop. But now I have a PC, so it's like maybe I can check out Origins. So you have a proper PC now. Yeah, so it's like I don't know if you guys would even want to watch me play a bunch of like Dragon Age Origins. It would be interesting though, because I don't know if I would be willing to play Baldur's Gate 3, just because it's like, do I even have the mental capacity for a game that long? My birthday was okay. I'm supposed to go to Dave and Buster. Oh, okay. I hope you have a fun time if you decide to go. Might be fun. RPGs can be hard to stream, but I think you could make it work. Because that's the thing. It's like even just episode one would be fine. I don't need to make it a whole series because I'm gonna be honest, chat. Like some of my friends would play games like that on stream, and and I'm just like, oh, I didn't make it to episode 5, but I made it to episode 6, and now I'm confused about what's going on. Um, so it's like maybe episode 1 would be fine, but I don't think I would be making like a whole series. I don't want to be like one of those people that just plays like a single game every time I stream. I wanna mix things up because I myself get bored of games. So you have to like offer variety. My birthday was the same day as it. Yeah, it was. Can you do a smash or pass of the Baldur's Gate characters? Oh, I haven't done that yet. But yeah, sure, maybe. Maybe one of these days. Yeah, if it's just one video game, then that's fine. Because I remember we used to do like a Smash or Pass video game characters edition, and so it included a bunch of other games. It included monsters from those games. So yeah, maybe that'll be good. I will write that down. Hang on, chat, and write this down. Mm, okay, good. Mm-hmm. So you're the one who showed up on stream. Yeah, they were. Smash or pass on all the Bioware husbands or waifus. Okay. Sure, why not? Mm, yeah, mainly because I'm not very familiar with those types of characters since I don't really partake in Bioware content. So I'm just like I'm going to be very intrigued. If you guys know, there was this one instance where I was talking about having a mask kink or a helmet kink to my friends, and my friend was just like, "Yo, Enaria, just check out Rainbow Six Siege," and I was like, "Which character?" And he's like, "Just check them out, just all of them." And I was just like, "Yo, smash to all of them, smash to all of the entire Rainbow Six Siege lineup, like the entire roster." I was just like so into. Hi Leo, welcome, welcome. But yeah, so should be interesting. Should be interesting to see which characters I like and dislike. Cause there's a lot of characters I'm like, oh, this character is hot, but I don't personally find them hot. You know, it's like I can tell why other people like them, but they're not my type. You think Ghost from COD is hot? Okay, let's listen. Listen. I think everybody thinks that way. You might as well ask about Bayonetta. You know, it's like everyone would smash. Hi Zeno, welcome, welcome. Good morning. um yeah, so we'll just see how this is gonna go, you know, because I did want to do another smasher pass. Now that we've done my hentai tag tier list, you know, it's time for me to learn how to do my own smasher pass. It's time for me to do it myself, you know, because I haven't done it on stream yet, so I need to christen it. I need to christen it for the first time. So yeah, that should be fun. That should be fun. Oh, before I forget, because are we doing yes or no on tier list again? It depends on what the tier list is. Because I was going to do a tier list on alcohol on cocktails, but I need to drink more cocktails first. And Manasan said I can't use my throne to buy cocktails or buy alcohol, so I have to just like go to actual. I have to just go buy it myself. Sad. All on all fours, running like gremlin. Yeah. Now I'm imagining you running about on Rainbow Six or COD lobby, thirsting over the characters. Listen, what I do in the comfort of my own gaming chair when I see those lobby characters, you know, that's my own business. It's like you don't need to know what I'm thinking when I'm in VR chat. um Isa Craft and Obs. Hi, welcome, good morning. Yeah, so I'm just kind of talking about like my future content, but mostly complaining about modern day media. It's just, you know, it's here's the thing. A lot of people don't like you know, woke games, woke movies, woke TV shows. And the people that make them are like, oh, you guys are just saying that because you're racist, you're sexist, you're, you know, you're blah blah blah. And I'm just like, not really. Like, it has nothing to do with the fact that the main character is a woman. It has everything to do with the fact that the story is shitty, that the game is shitty. Like, think about Outlaws. People were so excited about Star Wars Outlaws because it's literally Star Wars but focusing on the guns. You know how much people love shooting things. You know how much people love anything to do with cowboy type stuff. Because like if you don't know, Star Wars was actually inspired by both samurai and spaghetti westerns. I believe that's what the inspiration was. Very funny, very funny. Hi Sasha, good morning. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so like here's the thing. I don't mind, that type of content. I don't mind queer content. I don't mind you know, female driven stories or whatever. I do not give a shit, cuz like as long as you write a good character, as long as you write a good story, as long as you make sure that your game actually works, people will buy it. You know, it's like, no, like, do I have to fully identify with the main character? Do I have to look like the main character to in order to enjoy it? See, that's the thing. A lot of them are kind of like, you know, they're focusing on the wrong things. They're just like, no, we have to give this, you know, this character surgery scars in this medieval fantasy. Otherwise, the people with surgery scars won't want to play this game. And I'm just like, they have magic to make themselves turn into cats. Why wouldn't they just turn themselves into a man or a woman? You know, is it it's like, when's the last time you played a video game and you're just like, man, I wish I could give my character a receding bald, you know, a receding hairline like mine. I wish I could give my character a beer belly like mine. I wish I could give my character like an amputated leg like mine. It's just like, okay, like, how are you gonna run fast? You know, it's like, it's pandering in the worst way. Like, exactly, it's just like they're worried so much. They're so worried about appealing to the modern audience, but modern audiences are, I'm gonna be honest, guys, they're performative activists. Like, they're over here to be like, oh, you guys are just mad because gay people are taking over the gaming industry, and I'm just like, no, gay people have always been in the gaming industry. There's always been gay characters in things. It's just that you guys don't know about them because you don't play games. Like, here's the thing, there's so many indie games that are successful and have like queer themes and queer relationships, queer characters. They're successful because they're still good games. You know, they're not making a big deal about having neo pronouns in their character sheets. It's like, no one, like, I mean, make your game good. You know, make the game good, and then people will buy it. You think everyone that plays Sonic the Hedgehog looks like Sonic the Hedgehog? It's like, listen, I am like when I play let's say fighting games. When I play fighting games, I like playing the female characters because I'm a girl and I like playing girl characters. But I also just like looking, you know, I'm just like, oh, they're really cute. I just want to see a cute girl on screen. It doesn't matter if they look like me or not. I'm not gonna look like Elisa Bosconovich, you know. I'm not gonna look like Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm not gonna look like Lara Croft. But it's just really funny that they seem to be incapable of playing games unless the character looks like themselves. And I'm just like, if you can only play games that are like that, then fighting games aren't for you. You should be playing life sims. You should be playing character customization games. You should not be playing shooting games because shooting games have a limited roster. I don't know. Optimus Prime and he's not a Latino mixed character. That's hilarious. It's like I remembered seeing a bunch of things online about how the people trying to defend certain content like the Acolyte, Rings of Power, uh, what was it, Outlaws, or it's like a Concord, Dustborn. It's like the people trying to defend those things. I don't think they've actually played the games. They're just like, oh, this game has a gay character in it. This is so cool. And then they don't actually play the game, but they have the audacity to tell people that they can't complain about the game because if they complain about the game, that means they're sexist. That means they're homophobic. They're a Nazi. They're a bigot or whatever. And I'm just like, have you touched Concord? Did you see what it was like? Have you touched Dustborn? Have you seen the Acolyte? Have you? It's just like, did you only care that it had representation because that's literally how they bait people every February. Oh wait, no, not February. That's Black History Month. I'm June, right? Is June? Is that Pride Month? Wait, which one's Pride Month again? I can't remember. It's one of those. See, because it's like it's not really a big deal over here in my country, so I don't remember. I remember the golden years of the mid 2010s. It's like, I don't know. It was like when, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think Overwatch is a good game in regards to representation, but they need to like fix their game a little bit, you know? It's like they need to fix their game a little. And that's the thing. No one is complaining that there's too many women in a video game. No one, I don't think anyone's ever going to complain that there's too many women in a video game. People like women in video games, you know? I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where someone's just like, "Oh, we have too many characters to choose from." No one's gonna complain about that. But when your game, like at its core, just sucks ass because you didn't program it right, or you wrote it wrong, or it's like the dialogue is choppy, or shitty or whatever. That's people being as unbiased as possible. That's them actually not being bigots because they're complaining about the core. They're complaining about, like, let's say the personality rather than the appearance of the game. You know, June is gay month. Oh, okay, okay, okay. See, that's the thing. Rainbow capitalism. is a term that the gay community came up with, because they were like, oh, those companies that don't do anything for queer communities unless it's like June, and then they just change their profile picture to a rainbow one, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, like we really care about gay people. Buy our merch. That's rainbow capitalism. So when I see TV shows and movies and video games that, like, their whole angle is to showcase that they have representation, that's the only time I can just be like, yeah, you don't actually care. Cuz why don't I know anything about your video game aside from the fact that it has a lesbian in it, or it has pronouns in it? It's like, I'm not against that. It's more of it's not necessary for a shooting game. Do I need to know the pronouns of a robot if I'm just shooting at them? Real, it's it's just it's weird. It's like they want to claim that the only criticism, or like the only reason you'd criticize something is because you're a bigot. Like they want to say that so that they can look like they're morally correct. Like, it's like, no, it's like we're not getting criticized because we made a bad video game. We're getting criticized because of the haters, because of the bigots. And I'm just like, no, as a woman of color who's also queer, as a queer woman of color, I can safely say that no, that is not why they're criticizing you, because I also hate your content. And it has nothing to, in fact, it's like, anytime someone complains that, like, a woke game is like too woke, it's not because they're like, oh, I hate lesbians, I hate seeing them in my video game. It's not because they hate lesbians, it's because it has nothing to do with the story, and so you shoving that down their throat is a little weird. You can make it part of the story. I mean, think about how people view Arcane. People love Caitlyn and Vi. People love that ship. No one's gonna be like, I hate lesbians. No one's gonna be like that, because it's, why? Because Arcane is well written. Arcane is a good story. If you write it well enough, no one's gonna give a shit that their main character is black, queer, or a woman. So it's like, you can't use that as a defense. Like, you made a shitty game, you made a shitty TV show, you made a shitty movie. That's the reason. Ghost the Ghostbusters remake, or reboot rather, with all women wasn't bad because they were all women. It was bad because poorly written, and it casted like a group of four comedians that were all trying to be the comic relief. You can't have a comic relief character without a straight man. Otherwise, they're all just being obnoxious and stupid, So it's like, it was just poorly done. It had nothing to do with the fact that they were women. That Ghostbusters movie, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if it was done well, no one would have minded. There's a lot of female only casts that are great, and that was not one of them. That was not one of them. It's more of how you actually read a good show with these types of characters. Exactly. Um, if they had the vibes of the original Ghostbusters, I don't think anyone would be mad. But they just didn't balance it well enough. It's kind of something. I don't know. Isn't it weird that they want to claim that the only reason people hate on them is because they're bigots? But it's like, when you actually think about the criticism, it's like, no, like, this is the one time they're actually not being bigots, because they didn't say a single thing about, like, the skin tone, the gender, or the sexuality of the character. They said everything about how bad your writing is, or how your game development is. Like, it's like, I can't shoot in my shooting game. It has nothing to do with the fact that the character is a lesbian. Newer Ghostbusters movies are much better, TBH, but they're not trying to be the same movie, at least. Hi. Hi, Hyena. Hello. Oh, you guys know each other. You guys are friends. Um, Men do want to go see all female movies. Cap, just stop putting all female cats into shitty movies. That's the thing. It's like, okay. So, for example, I was just binge watching a bunch of stuff regarding the Rings of Power. So the thing with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, it's not because the main character is allegedly, supposedly Galadriel. You know, it's not because she's a woman that it's a horrible story or that it's a horrible show. It's nothing to do with that. You know, she's a beautiful, capable white woman, but she's literally the exact same character as Captain Marvel. Like, no one hated Captain Marvel because she was a woman. They hated her because she had a horrible personality. They hated her because she seemed like unnaturally perfect and without flaws, which is, you know, a Mary Sue, which is not good writing. And it's just like, no matter what she does, even if she does something wrong, everyone just has to treat her like, you know, she did something right. Even when she, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, even when she does something horribly wrong, it has to be like, oh, but it worked out in the end, so you were right to do the wrong thing. And I was like, what the heck? Can we please have a character that actually deals with consequences? You know how funny it is knowing that in the same land, you know, in the same industry that makes movies with guys that are going through like, you know, depression arcs, and they're like battered and bruised. Like, I mean, like, think about Logan, right? Mans was going through it. Even like the um Wolverine and Deadpool movie, it's like they were going through it. They were struggling, you know? They were just being like emotionally abused and then also physically abused. In the same vein, we have like these perfect women characters that just it just seems like a power you know, a power grab. They're just like, oh, I want to feel empowered by giving myself like an overpowered, perfect, flawless female character whose main personality trait is being better than men. It's just like, that's a bad character. That's not a good. That's not good. That's not a good story. Why should I sympathize with a character who doesn't know struggle? You know, it's like anytime something bad happens, they're just perfectly working their way against it. You know, they never falter. They never have any weaknesses. They don't even have to face consequences. Oh, thank you so much. Um, it's just really annoying. Oh, hi, lady. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. It's one of those things where it's like, if you just gave them a flaw, that would make it a lot better because it makes them human. You know, it makes them relatable because no one is perfect. Why should I feel bad for a character that never knows struggle? It's like, okay, you can live out your whole fantasy of being like a perfect female, but how's that gonna make me want to watch your character? It's like, you know, the worst thing that could ever happen to someone watching your show is for someone to say, I don't care what happens to this character. And a lot of shows, video games, and movies these days, you know, it's like they have a lot of that. They have a lot of people saying, oh my god, this main character is a terrible person. They're kind of horrible, but they never deal with consequences, and everything just works out in the end for them even without trying. And then everyone's just like in love with them, or is, you know, like falling to their knees, like, you know, in awe of their power. I'm just like, okay, whoever wrote these stories, you probably need to go to therapy because you kind of have some issues. You know, it's like you clearly went through something, and you're just like, I need to compensate for my insecurities by writing like a deviant art OC to you know, to fill the void in my soul, to compensate for the low self-esteem that I have. You know, I need to feel powerful by writing a character that's overpowered. It's like, you have a shitty character. Think about Deku or Naruto or Luffy or whoever else. Like, you know, like shonen protagonists are never perfect. They learn from experiences. They struggle. They lose their friends. They lose, you know, like they lose battles over and over and over. It's, you know, it's them, you know, pushing forward and adapting to situations that makes them a good character because they're learning. You got to start, you know, like I don't know, it's like, I mean, even something like John Wick, people really feel bad for John Wick because it's like, it's not about the puppy, it's about what the puppy represents. It was like his last
it was the last thing that he was clinging on to. And when he lost that thing, that's when he snapped, because he was dealing with a lot at that point. So if imagine if he didn't have like the thing with his wife, and it was just like he just lost the dog. I don't think people would relate. He wasn't struggling enough. And so I think giving your characters any type of struggle is what makes them relatable, because you can't have a character just be an asshole all the time and then not have people hate that character. They're just like, oh my gosh, you are absolutely right, perfect main character, main character. Like, it was me, it was my fault. I as a stupid, idiotic man, I am in awe of your power, and you're so cool and awesome, and even though you killed like 10,000 people with your stupid mistake, you were right to do that. You don't have to feel bad about it. It was actually their fault for being where your powers were when you wanted to blast that enemy away. Okarun, hi, and Mirai, welcome, good morning. You're like my new profile picture. Thank you. Also, good night. I don't know. It's oh, the craft which you play too. Yeah. So it's one of those things that sounds bad because the people defending the woke media are trying to make it seem like, oh, it's your fault that this thing is failing because you are a sexist. This thing that has black representation, that has queer representation, that has female representation, it's good that this thing exists. Who cares if it's a little poorly written? That who cares if the video game doesn't work as well as it should for a triple A game? That's it's just trying. It's really trying, and you should give it a chance because there's so many other games with like a straight white male in it. You should give it a chance, and so you should give the game companies your $20. You should give them your $40, because you should encourage more content like this to exist. And I'm just like, I don't want more content like this to exist. Not like that. Because at the end of the day, if they wanted people to have access to queer content, they would make it much cheaper. They would make it free. Like, indie companies aren't this greedy, and they have like a budget of $5. How do you live stream? You have to apply. You can't just live stream on here, unfortunately. You have to like actually be approved by AniLive. Consume the capitalist slop. Exactly. It's like, you guys don't like this. Well, you can't not like it, because if you don't like it, then I'm gonna call you names, and I'm gonna tell all my Twitter followers about it, and I'm gonna say that you guys are bigots and Nazis for not liking this representation, because any representation is good representation. I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't really think so, because when you think about it, negative stereotypes also kind of count as media representation. So maybe we shouldn't just accept any and all representation. Maybe we should have some standards. Maybe we should ensure that the content moving forward is actually good, because here's the thing. People will consume if the content is good. They will keep buying the video game DLCs. They will keep, watching the TV shows as long as it's good. But you can bring people in for like representation, but maybe for just 1 to 3 episodes. But like after that, no one's gonna watch if it's like poorly written. It's like, think about it. Season 8 of Game of Thrones, no one really hated the season because it was like mostly driven by Daenerys Targaryen. No one hated it because there was like a woman on screen. People hated it because it was shitty. Dan does that type of shit 10 times better, right. It's just it's one of those things that's like, they make you feel bad for having an opinion like this, but it's like, if you're the person giving them your time, giving them your money, you should have a say in what this content is like. It's one of those, it's like, don't like it, don't watch it. And then when you don't watch it, they're just like, you guys should be supporting this content, otherwise you're a bigot. It's like, you can't have it both ways. It's like, I feel good laughing at. Exactly. It's like they should be discouraged from making more content like this. Like they should know that, it's like the customer isn't always right, but when you want the customer's money, you kind of need to do what they want. And if you're only doing something that maybe three customers want, then you're not going to get like a lot of people's money, right? Like that's the problem about appealing to literally 6% of the market for games. I'm sorry. I'm just peeved because like I'm like trying to get into games, and like so many games these days are like pissing me off. And it's like you can't expect me to give you $20 if you're gonna be worse than something that's for free. The customer is actually right because no one likes shitty fucking games. Exactly, that's the thing. It's like I man, if it was one of those it's so bad it's good type of pieces of media, maybe they have a shot. But a sincere attempt and it looks like that, I'm just like, okay, dude, you're kind of making it hard for me to sit here and consume this. So I'm not gonna continue consuming. I'm gonna step away from the table. I'm gonna put my fork down. Yeah, so it's like this is something that I don't understand about a lot of studios and about a lot of game development companies these days. It's like what people are saying about your video games. You know what the market is like nowadays, and you're still trying to push these types of media on people. It's like after you've seen your competitors, after you've seen your peers fail miserably time and time again, you're still like, what'd be good? More of this. Let's throw as much money as we can into this project, knowing that previous attempts have failed multiple times. It's stupid. It's stupid. I don't get it. Why do they do that? Hi Draco. Hi Elise. Hello, hello. I just ignored from both sides. Have some sources creators to go browsing on my own. So all the pandering is white noise are detrimental to me. I was watching this video recently. Going on for a decade now. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's a lot of indie stuff that does queer content, that does POC content, that does female driven content really well, because even if it's targeted at a very specific demographic, they knew what they were about. They're not trying to pretend to be something else. It's like, here's the thing that game companies don't know. It's like, or like the AAA game companies don't seem to understand. When you're trying to target um the modern audience, which again is only like 6% of gamers. When you're trying to target that group of gamers while also trying to expect the majority of the audience to buy your games, how the hell is that going to work out? It's like, okay, so imagine making a video game, and you're trying to get everyone to check it out, but you're only making it about the life and struggle of like this Cuban Cuban Puerto Rican immigrant who is like into men and has like one leg, and has traveled to France specifically. It's like you can make a story. You can make a generalized story like about a character like that. You can make a story rich game about a very specific character, right? And you can still have everyone want to play it, right? I mean, like, not everyone who plays Lara Croft is a woman or white. Not everyone who plays Sonic the Hedgehog is a blue hedgehog. I don't know. Maybe there is a blue hedgehog that's playing Sonic. I don't know. That's why I said it's like not everyone. I don't know. But it's like, if you're only going to write it in a way that only people that are in that very specific cultural background and lifestyle or whatever, then you're not gonna get the majority of the audience. It's like, pick a lane, pick a struggle. It's like, do you want more people to watch it, like the general audience to consume your content, or only a few people to consume your content? Indie games work because they're only marketing to a very specific audience. They don't care about the average redneck redditor to check out their lesbian dating sim. They don't care if someone plays their gay furry life sim. No one really cares if like the general audience or the average gamer checks out their content, because they're after, they're very indie. Like they're going for a very small group of people, and that's their demographic. But when these AAA companies are trying to go for the majority of gamers while pandering to a very small portion of the audience, it's like, how is that going to work out? It's very confusing. It's like you either want to be niche or you want to be general. You can't have it both ways. Did you play Life is Strange? No, but I know about it. I've seen some gameplay, and I know like the memes and stuff. I was actually thinking about checking it out. It seems like I think it's free to play. I'm not sure if I'll do good at it though. Hi, boy. Hi, Miles. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Yeah, a successful indie game to mention is Hollow Knight, and that has LGBT themes, and it does it good. See, that's the thing. Undertale, Hollow Knight, they are indie games that have queer representation, but it doesn't make it the sole focus of the game. That would be so weird. Imagine if like Hollow Knight was just about like I don't know, just like a little gay boy, and it's just his gay adventures. It's kind of how is the average gamer going to relate to that? You know. So you make it a different game. You make it like a little fighting game. A little adventure game. Yeah, so it's like you can have themes, but if you want it to be the sole focus of the game, you're only going to get people that are that would relate to that type of thing as like as the player base, right? That's why I mentioned like the whole queer dating sim thing. Only people that are interested in queer dating sims will check out a queer dating sim. You're not gonna get like Joe from Montana, age 25, to check out a queer dating sim unless he's also interested in that type of game. Like he's gonna be checking out like Fortnite or Call of Duty, Warhammer. so so you have to make a game that's not just like a queer dating sim. I mean, that's why Persona 5 is good, you know? I don't know, man. It's just something that's been on my mind recently because of all the stuff that's been coming out the past few days, and I'm just like, man, they're trying to make me feel like a shitty person by saying I don't like it, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to like gaslight you. They're trying to blackmail you emotionally. They're being like, oh, they're guilt tripping you into not liking bad media. They're just like, oh, you can't criticize my game because it has a gay person in it. If you criticize my game, it's probably because of that, right? Because you're a bigot. I am going to mute you because that's a little no. Like stick to the conversation. Stick to the conversation at hand. Don't RP in my chat. Do not LARP in streamers chat, please. That's very annoying. Don't do that. I started playing Genshin again. Thank goodness I'm broke and have enough self respect. See, it's like Honkai Star Rail isn't just for the people that are after like the lesbian relationships. It's like they play the game because it's a. I don't know. I've never played it, but it's like they like it. They like the gameplay, but it's not like meant to be a gay game. If that makes sense. Funny and how fitting this whole topics are with Star Wars. That's exactly the problem. It's like the people that are, like the Star Wars detractors, the ones who are like complaining about the acolyte and outlaws. They're just like the people that are defending them. They're just like, you guys are just mad because it's a woman that's the main character, and it's like, no, it's nothing to do with that. I mean, people didn't like Rey from Star Wars because she was too OP. She was a Mary Sue character. It's like, how can people feel like there's any stakes when she's too overpowered? With the acolyte, it was just a badly written character. She was just like a shitty person. With outlaw, it was just a badly made game. It wasn't really anything to do. I mean, like, yeah, people hated outlaw because like they thought like how come they took a very attractive actress, you know, how come they took a very attractive person, modeled the character after her, and then made her ugly? It's like, why didn't they just hire like a normal person then if they didn't want it to look like a supermodel, right? It's like, why bother casting these hot people, rendering the character to look like the hot person, and then making them not as hot? Detroit Become Human tried to capture the voice actors' appearances as best as they could, and it worked. You know, it's like if you want them to look like the voice actor, make them look like the voice actor. Why are you going out of your way to make them look like you know someone else completely? If you didn't like the hot person's face, then don't hire the hot person. How difficult is that? You know, it's like go grab Nancy from Target. Disney keeps shooting it. Yeah, and that's why it's like all of these live action remakes, all of these like weird shitty Star Wars installations. It's like you guys should just bring back the Tinkerbell movies, man. It's like you guys should just make cartoons again or something. You playing a Quantic Dreams game would be hilarious. Leave me alone. Now I remember how dog shit The Last of Us 2. Why did they fuck it up so badly? See, it's like I feel like I mean, yeah, of course, there's going to be a few people that don't like The Last of Us 2 because of lesbianism, but it was more than that, you know, and that's why they're just kind of like, you can't criticize this because I have representation on my side. It's like no one can say anything bad about me, Enaria Lilales, the streamer. No one can say anything bad about me because if you do, you're a misogynist. If you do, you're a racist. You know, it's like it's like every like in if anything, it's more sexist or racist to say that I am immune from criticism because of my identity, because of my background, right? Like that makes it more bigoted actually. Castanis. Hi Bellhorn, welcome, good morning. Yeah, so it's like if it's like those people that are just like, oh, like I can't, you can't criticize me because I'm black, and I'm just like, actually no, that gives me more reason to it's like I'm not racist because I am criticizing you, and it has nothing to do with the fact that you're black actually. Justice for Joel. Yeah, see that's the thing. No one gave a shit about the lesbianism once they thought like, oh shit, the Joe stuff was bad. Joel, Joel, you're immune because you're not. Thank you. But that's the thing, right? It's like using identity politics as a shield from criticism is I like this term a lot. I like this phrase someone came up with on YouTube. Somebody said it's weaponizing your oppression. You can't criticize me because I'm gay. You can't criticize me because I'm black. You can't criticize me because I'm a woman. You can't criticize me because I'm a gay black woman. Like, you know, it's like imagine if someone was just like, you can't criticize me even though I'm like a straight white man because I'm poor. Would you criticize a poor person? You're elitist if you criticize me. See how ridiculous that sounds? A while back I saw a black person say they can't be racist and that was a huge red flag. A lot, you know what, that's what pisses me off so much. It's like when black people say that they can't be racist when they go around be racist to other people. It's like you're not the only one to experience racism, you know? It's like, sure, slavery was bad, but other people also experience slavery. Other people also experience, like, you know, stuff. It's like, you guys aren't the only ones. It's kind of, I mean, it was kind of gross when I found out about how you guys hear about the rooftop Koreans in LA, like in the, what was it, like the 80s 90s, something like that. Was it the 70s? Yeah, the rooftop Koreans. I just recently found out about that, and it was like this big story. Initially it started out kind of similarly to like the BLM thing, where it was like police brutality against a black person, and there was like this whole trial, and the police involved were not charged, or they weren't arrested, or they weren't imprisoned or something like that, and people rioted. So like people were rioting in the streets of LA, But instead of just rioting, they weren't attacking the precinct. They weren't attacking, like the like city hall or whatever. They were specifically targeting Koreatown and just ambushing all these, like, local businesses. And these are, like, these are Korean immigrants. They're just trying to, make a nice life for themselves and their families. And it's like, because apparently, they're so mad about the racism against them that they're enacting, revenge by, acting out on their racism, because apparently at the time, like, the black community was already kind of being weird towards the Asian community. And so that's why I get that's why I get so heated whenever like, black people say they can't be racist, or that, Asians don't experience racism that's as bad as what black people went through. It's like, you know so many Asian people died during COVID because of racism, and we still left our houses just to fight against, anti-black, police brutality, even in my country. And and that's why I got so annoyed when people are like, "Oh, it's not as bad when Asians experience racism." It's like, you guys can put up with it. It's not that bad. It's like, what? What do you mean? I think it's more racist to say that you can't be racist, because that means you're basically it's like racism, but in a different way. It's like, oh, like, we don't count because of our race. Isn't that also racism? Talk about the 2020 riots now. Yeah, it's like, I sorry, I'm just so heated today. I just woke up from a nap, immediately wanted to rant. Woke up cranky. Hi, Caddy. Yeah, it's like, I think saying anyone is immune to discrimination, or is immune from, causing discrimination or whatever. I think that's bad. That's bad. Have you guys heard of, like, what is that term? Uh it's like diversity hires, right? So it's bad to bar people from a job. Like, let's say you apply to a job, like an office job. It's bad to reject you just because you're of your identity. It's bad to reject you because you're queer, because you're black, because you're Asian, because you're Mexican, because you're an immigrant, because you're Muslim or whatever. It's bad to bar you from that, right? But shouldn't it also be bad to hire someone who's underqualified just because they're black, just because they're a woman, just because they're queer? Isn't that also bad? Because that's probably why a lot of these companies suck. Like, that's probably why a lot of these studios and gaming companies suck now. They probably have a lot of diversity hire quotas to meet. And so they're just like, oh no, we can't have dudes because of our scandal, because of our sexism allegations. So we need to hire more women, and these are like underqualified women. And it's like, there's a lot of people that are qualified. You just have to look for them. Just don't hire someone just because they happen to be a minority. That's actually going to fuck up your bottom line even more than, just not meeting a diversity hire quota. It's like, it's common sense, but it's not that common. Like, some writers nowadays, yeah, it's just like, maybe there's a reason why, writers were getting replaced with AI. Maybe get good at your job. Maybe then you can keep it. I'm kidding. The whole writer strike thing is important. It happened before. I think it was around like 2008. I don't remember when, like, the original writer strike happened. But yeah, it's like, writer strikes have happened multiple times in the past, like, couple of decades. And they are important. Like, writers should be paid for their work, and they should be compensated. They shouldn't be abused or whatever. They shouldn't be overworked, kind of just like animators. But it's like, make sure that you're writing because you actually deserve the pay, and not just because it's like, I'm doing half the amount of effort that's required, but I want to get paid twice as much. It's like, you can't have that attitude. Funnily enough, I have the opposite problem where too many women apply for library jobs, and I hear from coworkers. See, that's the thing. Would you ever be like, we can't hire this many women. We have to stop hiring women. We need to hire more men. It's like, would you guys ever do that at your library? It's like that'll seem bad, right? It'll seem like, oh, they're preventing women from getting jobs. This company, this library is sexist. They're misogynists. It's like, what? Leo's cooking. Actually, we should have wine cookies. Would a wine cookie even be alcoholic? I think wine. I mean, fudge. Fudge might be good. Fudge might be good. Um, yeah, in a way, but it's all behind closed doors. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's such a weird conversation, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, no one's gonna care what names are in the credits list, as long as the product is good. People, those types of people will still get jobs. It's like you can leave something like Ubisoft and then go work at a different company, and it's like, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, it doesn't matter if you're a black man, it doesn't matter if you're a queer person, it doesn't matter if you're like a Muslim. It doesn't matter. If you do your job right, you should be compensated for it, and it should result in like a good product. So it's like the companies are happy because they're getting money, and they're not in trouble with, like, like some other, I don't know, governments or whatever. The customers are happy because they're getting good products, and the employees are happy because they can keep their jobs. And at the end of the day, I want good content. Make good content. I want my games, I want my TV shows, I want my movies. I'm a simple woman. I just want things to watch when I'm dissociating. Like, is it that hard? This is why anime is so good, because they don't have to like do that sort of thing. They don't have to be like, we need more women in anime. There's a lot of women in anime. It's like we need more colored people in anime. It's like, I mean, there's a bunch of anime that have black people, Mexicans. It's like you just have to look for them. It doesn't have. I still think it's funny that a lot of Western Twitter users somehow think anime characters are white, and I'm just like, they're Japanese, right? Anime is set in Japan usually. Like, did you know that? Please tell me you know that. um, Indie games are fucking carrying half the industry at this point. Yeah, no, seriously, it's like, holy shit! Like, there's so many titles that are just like super super good. Little Nightmares. The fact that Little Nightmares or Cult of the Lamb, Undertale are so much more successful than something like that's part of the Dragon Age series, bros. The Dragon Age franchise. That's so bad. It's like, you should not be happy with whatever numbers you guys are making over there at BioWare. It's like, please just change your business model. I heard that the reason why Dragon Age Veilguard is the way that it is because the original team that was working on it, because it started in 2014, I believe, and it's been in production like this entire time. But they had to kind of put it off to work on other projects, and BioWare, like the past couple of years, has been dealing with some bullshit, and the original team that was working on Dragon Age Veilguard, or at least what the original name was supposed to be. I don't remember what the code name was. But like, the people working on that project, the people that were actually staying true to the Dragon Age franchise, the original director and like the concept artists, the writers, they all left when they realized like BioWare was kind of, like, they were under new management. They were changing the way things worked with their like the way they operated, behind the scenes, the way, like, they had creative differences a lot. And so, like, the original, the dream team, they basically left, and that's why BioWare just like gave Dragon Age Veilguard to, like, I don't know, the person who's like in charge of, like, someone who's worked on The Sims. And I'm just like, come on, like, these are very different games. um I seen the topic. Ace Attorney let me enjoy my jelly filled donuts. Meanwhile, it's rice balls. Oh no, not the Pokemon 4 dub 4 kid. Yeah, it's like the 4 kids dub, right? I love jelly donuts. I love powdered donuts. Hi Maiden. Hello, welcome. Little company outsold Call of Duty. No joke. Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's nice. That's crazy though. Not surprised, but like, yeah, that's actually like really good. See, that's the thing. Indie companies are really thriving right now because like the big studios are just falling apart. You know, they're scrambling for good ideas, and all their current ideas are just bad. You know, triple A companies in shambles. Um, what? What? Who said I was a furry? Nobody said I was a furry. Who said? BioWare has been in a rough spot for a long while. Mass Effect, Andromeda. Ooh, yeah, Andromeda, and then Anthem, and then ugh. Yeah, man. It's like, it's if you want to charge triple A prices, you need to make triple A quality content. Like, come on, dude. It's like, imagine going to like a 5-star restaurant, but like when you get there, like the food that you spent $200 on is just like canned beans. It's like, come on, I was completely misled here. Like, what are your opinions on indie VTubers? I like a lot of them actually. I don't watch too many corpos because I get overwhelmed by the choices, and so I just like watch like a few corpos and a lot more indies. I love indie VTubers because they basically can do whatever they want with their content, and it can be as niche as they want or as mainstream as they want. Whereas if it's like if you're in a corpo, you kind of do what the corpo culture is, what they tell you to do rather. And so that's why they end up playing the same games over and over. Whereas like the average indie streamer can play a game that no one's ever heard of, and I really like that. Triple A prices sets expectations. See No Man's Sky. Ooh, ooh, you're bold for bringing that up. No. No Man's Sky pulled a miracle by actually getting better over the years. It's actually a good game now. What are your thoughts on Yandere Yandere Simulator? I joined a corpo, but I probably get rejected. I didn't think I would be good for corpo life because if this is like a traditional corpo, I would not have even applied. Mainly because I know myself enough, and I know that I'm not good for the workload or the culture. I prefer just going at my own pace and just doing whatever I want. um, fuck that guy. Yeah, Yandev, he's weird, bro. It's like, he's doing that. Oh my god, can you just make your damn game, Yandev? Can you just make your damn game? Or at the very least, abandon the game. It's like he doesn't need to keep saying, "Yeah, I'll work on it when I work on it." Just abandon the game at this point. Just abandon it. Just tell people that you don't want to work on it anymore. Just abandon the game officially. You don't have to drag it on for another 10 years. It's an easy one to bring up, as Angel 9 mentioned. Yeah, it's just, oh man, these game companies really need to understand that if they want our money, they need to make good stuff. They need to make good games. It's like, I don't know. It's like, who the hell is doing the market research with these games? Who the hell is telling these people like, oh, you know what, we should we should we should really add more pronouns in our games. It's like, it's integral for the shooting FPS game. It's like, I here's the thing, right? Let's say Overwatch. Overwatch was a good example of representation. They had robots, they had people, they had inhuman characters like the hamster. And it's like, we had straight people, we had queer people, we had different genders, races. It didn't matter. You played a character because you like the character design, because you like the gameplay aspect of the character, right? You liked how they play. But it's like, do you really like would Tracer being a lesbian affect the gameplay? No. It's good that they included that, but it's not so invasive that it's like shoved in your face every time you play Overwatch. It's not just like Tracer's going like, it's like, uh oh, what did she say? Like, cheers, love. The cavalry's here. I went to go see my girlfriend Emily over the summer. It's like she. That's not a voice line that's in the game. It doesn't, because it doesn't matter. Like that type of stuff is what we call flavor text. It's something that adds more character, but it shouldn't, kind of overtake what the character is actually known for. It's like, Tracer for her personality, her for her character design, her for her explicit content and her gameplay style. It's like you're not gonna necessarily care how long she and her girlfriend have been together before her incident. You're not like that's stuff that's supposed to be in the comics. For it's just background stuff. It's not supposed to take over the game, because at the end of the day, her being a lesbian or not has nothing to do with shooting things. So you don't really need to know, like, in game, that she's a lesbian. You can know the basic info, but it's like it shouldn't be shoved down your throat repeatedly. It shouldn't be like banged into our heads as like, she's a lesbian, she's a lesbian, she's a lesbian. It's like I just need to hear it once, and then I don't need to hear about it again. British representation. But yeah, I still think the Scout and Tracer rap is good. It was. It's just I think, it's like no one cares that, I don't know, man. It's just I get heated about this, because it's like, you guys are making it worse for the minorities you claim to help. The women, the queers, the people of color. You're kind of giving them a bad rap by being obnoxious about your message. It's like you guys are making it seem really, really bad to be supportive of this community, of our communities. And so that's why I get so annoyed with these gaming companies, because it's like, it almost seems like they're parodies, right? They seem like they're made by the opposing side that want to paint them in a bad light. But the fact that it's coming directly from them while trying to get our money, I'm just like, you guys are such idiots. You guys are making it so bad for us to exist now. Like, for example, recently, like Veilguard, right? It's like just that whole, like, um here, vegetables, so I'm non-binary. It's like, what? You're making it seem like people shouldn't take us seriously because we just sound like brats now, if that's how they're exposed to the non-binary concept, right? It's like, just act normal. Just act normal. See, that's the thing too, the identity politics people on social media, especially Twitter, right? They want gold stars just for being queer, just for being, gender fluid, or have blue hair, or be in a lesbian relationship, or be a woman of color or something. It's like they want gold stars just for being a minority, when I'm sorry, but wasn't the whole point about tolerance and acceptance? Wasn't the whole point to normalize this type of thing, so people treat us like normal human beings? Why are you expecting to be praised just for existing? It's like, why are you begging people to give you multiple chances, with shitty content, just because you have, like, a, a gay person in your story? It's like, no, it's like we're actually being more decent than you're giving us credit for, by criticizing the flaws that has nothing to do with the sexual orientation of the character. We're criticizing the character because they're overpowered, and a shitty human being. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're a woman. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're a person of color, or have a girlfriend. It has nothing to do with that. We're actually being like, not bigots. Actually, we're actually not being bigots about it. You guys, though, is like I'm talking about, like, the Twitter freaks. You guys know who I'm talking about. But like, they're expecting pats on the back just for just for existing, just for having representation in their media. It's like, no, you don't get a pass just because, it's like you might as well say like, oh, this person can put out a shitty video game because they're only like one person, like Yandev was he was asking people around like to try out his indie game before he did Yandere Simulator. He asked people to try out his first game. They didn't like it. They gave him a lot of criticisms. He was kind of trying to be like, oh, you should chill out because it's my first game. I made everything by myself. It's like props to him for doing that, but at the end of the day, it's a bad game and it needs to be criticized. You can't get a pass just because it was like a one man project. Lots of people can do good projects by themselves. You don't get a pass. If we're gonna praise someone for doing something by themselves, we can also criticize someone for doing something bad by themselves. Hi Raptor, welcome, welcome. I'm in a ranty mode. Focus on it instead of having it as a normal thing. Exactly. It's like we can put representation in, but the point is, at the end of the day, we are supposed to see these as normal characters, normal humans, because once you see a character as just their identity, like it's like, oh, that's the lesbian, oh, that's the black person, that's the guy with the dog. It's like that's not exactly representation. That's what we call tokenism. Because it's like, oh, we have a cast of all white men. We need at least one black woman just to make it seem like we care. That's what it is. It's like they're just, oh, we forgot to add a person of color in our story. Just shove them in there. Just make that the black guy. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if you want me to not give a shit about this character being a certain race, then don't make it a thing where that's the only personality trait they have. I wonder sometimes if those types realize that Disney celebrates the first LGBT Star Wars, for example, then edit it out when it comes to China, Russia. See, that's the thing, right? Do you have any idea how many pieces of Disney media, like whether it's like a Disney Channel original TV show or movie, there's so many pieces of media that have representation. There were so many TV shows that I saw growing up on Disney Channel that had a female main character, that had a black cast, that had like Asian characters or something, and like Hispanic characters. I saw a bunch of that growing up. No one cared. No one cared. It was just it was just like a story about a Mexican family, a story about a black character, a story about this and this. No one cared that they were representations of these communities, you know but it's like the more time went on, the more Disney was trying to push like, oh, we have representation, you need to give us your money. We were giving you your money when you didn't care that it was representation, because it was just a story that just happened to have a minority as a main lead. And I think that's how a lot of people view media nowadays. It's like, just give us the good content, we'll give you our money if you deserve it. We're gonna take it away if you don't give us good content, because we're the customers. That's how that works. The companies totally believe it, except when it comes down to money. Exactly. I'm just waiting for the day that, like, because like a lot of content like the past 2 years that were just kind of like shoddy attempts at representation, whether it's movies, TV shows, or video games. Is like, I'm just waiting for the day that these companies all just realize, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be listening to Sweet Baby Inc. Maybe we shouldn't be listening to DEI narratives. Maybe we should actually go back. We should truly return to form, and then just make video games like how we used to. But we just have to respect our female employees more. Like, that's literally all it is. It's like, how are you gonna do this and this if behind the scenes you're still shitty? It's like, you can't be like, we respect women here at Activision Blizzard, and I'm just like, well, you can still make the same video games, just don't make shitty choices when it comes to your female employees. Like, it's that simple. Just don't harass your female employees, and then people won't think that you guys are misogynists. You don't have to make all your video games star a female character. It's super weird, guys. I don't know. I'm annoyed. But anyways, I gotta go. That's I will be streaming later this evening. We are going to be playing A Little to the Left, which is a puzzle game. It looks very interesting. I haven't tried. I was going to do unpacking, but then I thought, all the streamers have played unpacking. I don't really want to do that. So we're gonna do a slightly different puzzle game. So, as I mentioned before, many times is you guys are free to backseat whenever I play video games because I'm an idiot and I'm probably gonna look up a cheat anyways. So you might as well just like tell me if I need some assistance. Oh yeah, thank you, Angel, thank you. Hi Starfire, good morning. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming later at 7 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. EST, I think, and we're gonna be playing A Little to the Left on Twitch. That's at Enaria Lilales. Feel free to stop by. If not, I will be streaming around the same time again the next day. We will be playing The Sims for the first time, so that's cool. Yeah, I just got really heated, so thank you for letting me rant. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. Coming. Alwyn, thank you so much for restreaming me on Twitch. Thank you, thank you. Everybody, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go back to sleep, and I will see you guys later this evening. Anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you on my next one, and take care. Bye. And please.